Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Forgiveness Frequency. Today, in our Metamorphosis Monday, we are going to be going through an energy update of the 7-7 portal energy, the Syrian gateway, and if the myth, and also living in the blur. So, if this message has found you, if this video or recording has reached you, no matter when it has arrived, there is a frequency match and there's codes, colors, and keys that are within the forgiveness frequency, the channeled messages, and the broadcasted frequencies from forgiveness that are meant for you in some way. And I encourage you just to sit back, to relax, to allow the information that's going to be coming through to take what resonates and flow through the rest. We have been through just energetic waves and waves of energy since through May and through the month of June. And now, as we are in July and we are within another round and wave of energy, there's just a lot going on. And the forgiveness frequency and our guides, the Divine Father and Mother God, are here to really help us to understand a little bit about what's been going on. So, thank you so much for joining me for this transmission, for this channeling, and for this really broadcasting from the forgiveness frequency, which is a high vibrational, multi-dimensional frequency of healing that uses self-love, self-forgiveness, and gratitude, and it's amplified with color. So we use all of the frequencies and healing abilities of color within to bring us into our center. So as we're sitting within the center of the forgiveness frequency, we get to tap into the energetics of what is happening on a universal level, a planetary level, a collective level, and a cosmic celestial level. So a lot of the information that is just beaming its way through is coming directly from the celestial realms. So we're just going to take a few deep breaths to connect. And I'm going to actually just pop off screen and just allow you to sit within the colors and the energies that are weaved and embedded in this photo today. We have our quantum light language that's here to take us on a little bit of a journey. Let's see if we can. There we go. So take a few deep breaths and just connect to the energy. Welcome to the Remembrance Sanctuary. Our Metamorphosis Mondays allow us to really tap in. It's our Moo Moo Mondays. And the MU of the Moo Moo is taking us through the ancient wisdom of the land of Mu, of our Divine Mother and all of our ancestors that have come before us, that are bringing us forth through this ascension process. And since the solstice, we have been living in the blur. And as this began, it began as a daily, my vision started to blur. And coming out of the solstice, it was about 3 days after I just couldn't, where I was told to take out my contacts. I couldn't focus. My eyes weren't focusing on anything. Everything was just super blurry. And I remember that on the solstice, morning of the solstice, as we stood barefoot facing the rising sun, we were told to receive. And the sun turned into this key, this lock, and we were asked to surrender our key. And once we did that, we were taken into this multi-dimensional kind of portal, and we were standing, literally being held up for over an hour as we received in the codes, colors, and keys from the solstice energy that opened this portal and gateway between now and the 8-8 portal. And as we moved further into the energies of it, what I was shown was everyone was presented on the solstice a few days before or after, was presented a portal. And this was where we were all of the breadcrumbs that we've been giving over the last 3 to 4 months turned into those pieces of toast, and we were able to bake the bread and really are here to share those remembrances that have come through. But in March or so, we were given the 5505, which was a celestial code that we were asked to bring within our heart. And every time you would repeat the 5505, it would converge the past, present, and future through the portal into a unity and oneness. And that is what the 5 5, the zero was the portal taking you through into this convergence of the higher self, the past, present, and future, into oneness with connection with Christ consciousness. There were so many advancements and upgrades that were happening with this particular celestial code. And we didn't know why, and we didn't even necessarily count up the numbers to see where it was taking us. But as we got closer to the solstice, this resonated so profoundly of sitting within the 55505 and really accepting, surrendering, trusting in the process of allowing yourself to go through this portal. Well, come June 20th, 55505, we were taken through that actual physicality of that portal. And everyone had the opportunity, from what I'm shown, is to stand amongst this portal. And based on your soul's blueprint, so however you arrived at it, whenever it shows up for you or arrives to you, is in perfect divine timing for you. But as you stood within the energies of this portal, you were either asked to go within or to uh, stay nearby. And many jumped and leaped through the portal and entered the blur. And others, based on their soul blueprint and what they need to do, there is no right or wrong timing. I just want to be so clear about that, is that everyone will enter the portal. There's no one being left behind. What road and path you take to get there will be determined individually. And this is going to be happening over the course of the next year and a half. So this will be happening all the way through the solstice of 2027. So I encourage everyone, 2 years, that to take what resonates and to flow through what doesn't for you, to know that everything that you are receiving is a code, color, or key, and that when it's ready to be remembered, when it's ready to be activated within you, it will. And these transmissions from the forgiveness frequency and the celestial realms are doing that, and they're weaving these codes, colors, and keys within you as we sit within this frequency together. And that comes through in the light language, the quantum celestial light language. It also comes through in the tone and frequency of my voice, in addition to the words and the energy behind them that is being used. And I'm just so honored to be able to be here and to bring forth these channelings, messages, and the broadcasting of this frequency, which is a new earth frequency of healing that is encoded with all of us, waiting to be fully activated. So as we stood and received on the solstice to receive in that energy and the codes, colors, and keys, it took us a few days of integration before we could really process any of it. But during that time, my vision was pretty much gone. It was very blurry. My eyes were constantly watering. And finally, a few days after, I was told to remove my contacts, to remove all my glasses, to remove anything that is creating a barrier between me and the sun's energy, the energy that is being flowed to us and through us. And it started with the blur, and everything comes to in acronyms. And it was the begin leveling up your resonance. and believe a limitless universal resonance. Every day, the blur acronym for it changed and it progressed. And we were asked to every morning, just before sunrise, to put our bare feet on the grass and to stand and witness the sun rising without any barriers to our vision. So removing our contacts, removing our glasses. And I stood there and I just took my contacts out for the first time in so long, and I just dropped them to the ground. And I stood there and just received in the energy of the sun that was coming in, and allowed it. That first 15 minutes of the rising sun, it gives you an up to 40 minutes based on where it's rising. If you're looking at it through trees or if it's cloudy, you can stay gazing and basking in the sun rays. And what it was doing, it was giving us and expanding upon the third eye expansion that came through on the solstice. There's a crown and there's a crown expansion and activation, and also throat chakra and high heart. So it was those top four, even five, going to the star chakra that was coming online with new frequency codes. And this was changing our breath. It was changing the tone of our voice. You may have lost your voice in during that time. And as we step every day, we've stepped further into the blur since the solstice. And every day has been a little bit different, except for being barefoot on the grass without any barriers to our eyes, allowing the sun to heal our vision. And we were asked to do this in the morning at sunrise and at sunset. And so I would sit in the grass at sunset, but by then I had no more standing abilities, or I would even lay with my pillow with it facing the sun. And if the sun was a little bit too bright, you just close your eyes and allow those rays to hit through your eyelids. If you do a lot of Zen meditations where your eyes are just barely cracked, that came into play as a beautiful way to receive in the codes, colors, and keys that were coming in. Also, seeing the sun's reflection in the sunrise or sunset on water was another big one, because this is also a water energy that is coming through. So being in water, drinking water, infusing your water, putting your feet in water has all been part of this blur, living in the blur experience. And each day something different happened. Your senses started to come online. New smells were coming through. Not only, and I was challenged that very first day of taking out my contacts, that I was asked to live in the blur all day long, to put my glasses down, to take my contacts out, to go throughout the day. And I am nearsighted, so I can't see far. So after 6 to 12 inches in front of me, everything goes blur. And as I surrendered to that day, I had to live in the discomfort of not having my eyesight. And I learned so many different things, messages that came through, uh, knowing that being present doesn't require you to see past your 12 inches. Being present here in the now moment doesn't need you to take in the entire scenery. And as my eyes would strain to keep looking, it was teaching me how to bring myself back to center, to sit in the discomfort of something new and of the blur, and then to use my senses and the smell and the um, colors were more vibrant. You could see auras around everything without the glasses on within the blur. You could see how the colors changed, how the trees and flowers you could see their auras without having any correctiveness. We were shown years ago about sunglasses. The UV protection of sunglasses is actually blocking the healing rays of the sun. Sunscreens and all of the chemicals within it. So years ago, we were asked to no longer use sunglasses or sunscreen and allow the sun rays to be part of our healing journey. This is just an expansion of that. And as I would get a headache because my eyes were strained so much throughout that day, I was living in that discomfort and doing Akashic Reiki, sending love, sitting within our center. Breath work became really important. Meditation. What can we do with our eyes closed? And there's so much that you can do. If you're nearsighted and you can't see far, you can still have what's close to you. It's actually easier to check your phone or emails, or communication through that way, because your eyes have to actually strain, because they're working to allow you to see further out versus what's in closest in front of you. So over this experience, I went the entire day, and most of the next day I wanted to really see what was needed. I didn't need my vision to water the garden or to water the flowers or to walk barefoot in the morning. The only time I really needed the correctiveness of my lenses was when preparing food, or working with uh, sharp objects, those kind of things. Even writing, it was just a little bit farther away. I had to make some adjustments there. But it really was a big challenge. And every day that I moved more into the blur, that I would keep my glasses inside, on our barefoot walks and our morning routines and regimens, my eyes started to get stronger. And it was every single day something new would come within my vision. And I was told that you have to unsee the scene, to see the unseen, you must unsee the scene. And that was the celestial message that kept coming through with each of the different blurs. And some of the blurs, I want to see if I started journaling them out. So we had begin living universal resonance, believing love ups resonance. And resonance is an energetic frequency that's coming through for the month of August. So that's why it's bringing us to this 8-8 portal. For July, it's limitless transcendence. So it takes us into the crown chakra and the soul star chakra. And the July is all about transcendence. And I have channeled through and broadcasted through the July color of the month, which is coral blush. And hopefully I'll be able to get that out as soon as I can. Another one was begin living universal resonance. That was day one. And then it moved in from beginning and believing to becoming. So it was becoming light, unveiled radiance, breathing love's unified radiance, resonance, bridging the lights of unraveling resistance. So every day it was just kind of a new focus of the blur, of this space in between that really is the space where we're being asked to fully surrender to the unseen. And that's where this portal, you don't know what's on the other side. And as you walk into it, you are in this space of blur. And even as you walk past it, you are on this journey to see the unseen and to unsee the seen. And that's what this journey kind of takes you on, these kind of walkabouts, but it always brings you back to the center and back to this portal. And ultimately, everyone will enter the portal at their designated time. But this is this multi-dimensional upgrade like zone, the space and time where timelines are merging and converging and bending and twisting and weaving. Our vision is being recalibrated, our mental vision, our physical vision, our etheric vision. It's every energetic body has a visional component to it that is receiving this upgrade, but it's recalibrating it all. And it's bringing forth the truth in new ways that you may have not seen it before. It's allowing you to take this time in the blur to really detach from anything that's holding you back, detach from earthly attachments, uh, bringing forth any limiting beliefs or um, unconscious belief systems that are deterring you from you living your highest converged self. And if there's any resistance at all, you wouldn't move through the blur. You would stay in it until you fully been able to alchemize, transmute, and transcend that energy. And that's what the month of July is helping us to do. So we can step into and be ready for the portal of the 8-8 portal. There's also energetic days within this month that came through in our July channeling was, or broadcasting was, um, the 2nd through 7th is the Syrian gateway, which is where all of this, everything is aligning for you and bringing you into this. Let me see if I can. I just want to tap in. So, the Syrian gateway that we are within, and this will continue out through the 14th, even though we're in the 7-7 energy, will go out through the 14th of energy. So whenever this finds you in that energy, and then this is also building upon the energetics, layers of frequency and weaving of frequency through the 8-8 portal. And the Syrian gateway is one of the most powerful portals of the year. It accumulates all the energy of the from the 7-2 through the 7-7, and also the 7 up to the 7-14. But it is this embodiment of and convergence and recalibration of your crystalline bodies. So it's the fascia system that is being really lit up within you, and it's the butterfly systems that are coming online. So Sirius and the spiritual sun, they're aligned with the earth, and the sun is bringing us in not only from the sun, but also from the Divine Mother and the Schumann resonance. We are being really bathed in these higher frequencies beyond the 5D. So these are like up to the 8D energies that are coming through. And it's kind of like a powwow to your system. And then you have to take the time to really integrate it. But as you are bathing in these energies and spending this time in the blur, to sit in the morning sun and the evening sun, and even the 12 o'clock, that midday sun, if you can just bask in it for a few minutes, allow your skin to receive it, your eyes closed, to look through it. We were even given at one point the frequencies of linen that have been brought through, and putting a linen swatch over our eyes during that midday sun and allowing our eyes to be able to open without being harmed by this, like the heat of it, the intensity of it. We did that for a few days too. So it really is just every single day was something new to expansion of the blur, but it also had to do with the physical and collective vision recalibrations and alchemizations that were happening. And as these higher celestial codes are coming through, they are awakening deeper layers of soul remembrance and multidimensional, your purpose, your cosmic blueprint is really coming online. And as we enter through the 7-7, we're going into this integration period, which allows us to just receive and believe and receive, rest and rejuvenate. So you may feel fatigued, emotionally drained, physically drained. You may feel called to just deep stillness and deep sleeps and rest. It activates. This is where all of those activations that you've received since the solstice, all that you've been integrating are now coming online. And you will see this start to trickle and kind of weave into the remembrance between now and the 8-8 portal. And some of the, like the day out of time that's coming out on the 25th is another big energetic day. We have the full moon on the 10th that's coming through. We also have astrological and planetary shifts and alignments that are happening. We have the new moon on the 24th and 25th, so it matches the day out of time. It's also the water appreciation. So there's another water element to that water appreciation or global water day on the 25th as well. I know that there's a water expansion, if I can remember from our July broadcast. And then on the 26th, we have the new year begins. And this is the galactical new year, a new solar cycle begins. And this is also when the Lionsgate portal energy comes through. And that's when the opening of the new year that begins the Mayan, I think, dream spell year. When that begins, that opens the Lionsgate portal. So then we're into the energies of the Lionsgate portal, and there's so much to do that. But the color of the month of July, which is coral blush, will show you how to utilize that to really help, especially in that mid-month through the Lionsgate portal, and then tapping into the limitless transition of the month as well. So as we go back to the energetics of living in the blur, everything was about weaving energies, layering energies, layering. The linen came through in the last couple Metamorphosis Mondays of wearing linen, using linen swatches to have on your body, whether that is in your pocket, holding them in your hand, the frequency of the 5,000. But it also showed us that there's this frequency that is being woven and birthed together, and it's called love joy. It's taking love and joy and weaving it together. And the core frequency of that is the 639. But when you expand the love joy within the forgiveness frequency, it gives you a frequency expansion of the 963. And that is the celestial love joy. And I'm just being shown that the convergence of everything is also converging the highest emotional frequencies together to expand it even more. So love joy is birthing a higher frequency. So if you are living in the frequency of love and unity and oneness, and you're also experiencing the joy and putting intention into building your joy, bringing these together has created this just beautiful energy. And then you take this energy and the colors of it and you place it into the center of your forgiveness frequency, and you are literally just blasted off of this color. You're blasted into the cosmos, into the universal fields, the cosmic fields, and the heavenly fields, the celestial fields. When you combined these two emotions and the energies and frequencies of them, and then you add them together with their colors, it's amplified. So love joy is going to be a big frequency that'll be used through the next month or so. In the days that followed in living with the blur, we were taken through a heart of the home um, activation. So, any space or place that you're in, sitting in the center of that, opening up your forgiveness frequency and really speaking to the energy of your home or place or space or even room. And there's this beautiful a cosmic Akashic Reiki hug that was brought forth that we hopefully will be able to share. I was just taken back through all the breadcrumbs that we've been delivered through opening the cosmic celestial pillar in January, which was all about embrace, building that pillar every single day up until now, through now, and then understanding how it's evolved. And January was all about embrace. February was embodiment. March was expansion. April was elevation. May was illumination. June was evolvement or evolution. And as we move into July, we are into transcendence. And after after the summer solstice, we were given limitless transcendence. August is resonance, September is Christ consciousness, and October is convergence. So we will see how we're the resonance is already showing up, and as transcendence showed up in June and really brought us through into July. Now we are being flooded with the resonance that is coming through in with the Lionsgate portal in August. The body is the physical body is shifting, not only the vision, but also in words. So, like as we're doing this, I'm asked to remove my glasses so I can really sit within the blur of what we experienced. You may find that your ability to process foods is different. Over the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been all about fruit, water, very high vibrational foods. I've been asked to cut out pretty much all cheese or limit cheese, limit dairy. I don't do meat, but it's anything that's even fried or in with density. I've just been very called to water, fruit, a lot of different like tropical and cosmic fruits, a ton of watermelon. And then all of my Sunny J juices, which has the 30 vegetables and herbs and 15 herb root vegetables, and just really drinking in the rainbow over the last few weeks of as we've been moving through the blur. Even anything that's fermented, so even sourdough, those everything, especially with vinegars or fermentation, has been called into our bodies are having a hard time digesting that. The whole entire fascious system is lighting up, so you will feel these, oh, they're so beautiful. It's like this energetic burst of energy that start in the heart, and then they're different than goosebumps or shivers. It's just this bliss, this love joy that runs through your body. It's starting from the heart, it runs to your fingers and toes and head. You will feel everything kind of stand on end in a good way, and then you can feel yourself being that conduit of energy to receive it and then to burst it out. Like you are just this light. You're buzzing. It's kind of like a firefly when it just lights up. That's this energy that's been pulsating through us over the last few weeks in the blur as well. And it's like the best. It's like goosebumps or glitter, uh, magnified. I don't even know how to explain it, but it starts in the heart, and it kind of just warms you as it runs all the way through. And I would say similar to like a hot flash, but it's like it's not hot, it's just energy. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. It's really truly amazing. The deeper restful sleeps are really important. Grounding and anchoring yourself in before you do anything, standing in the present before any task, and just grounding yourself into that moment. And once you've done that task and you've exerted your energy in any way, taking that moment to go outside to put your feet on the grass, to give gratitude for the energy you just received, and to release any energy that's not yours. And it calls you back to your center. It's pouring energetic love into your food, into really it's love joy. It's filling everything with love joy. The water you drink, the food you eat, the food you're preparing for others. You are just sprinkling your energy, and my fingers and my toes are just completely radiating with this love joy energy that we're tapped into. Sleeping with a linen sheet on you or over you, even napping with one is going to be really important. And we were taken through the Remembrance Sanctuary last week of that the cloth that was used in for centuries and centuries to wrap and to mummify priestesses and priests and kings and queens was linen, and how linen holds the 5,000 frequency, but it also how it absorbs essential oils, and how it keeps uh, and breathes. All of it is so important, and it's bringing that remembrance of why they did what they did with linen in the pyramids and even before the pyramids, that this has been the fabric of celestial fabric of sanctuary. Beautiful. And it'll be expanded even more as we move forward. The Circadian rhythm of your body is still showing up in our metamorphosis, especially for anyone going through menopause or perimenopause, that getting enough sleep and working backwards. If you want to be up for the sunrise, really working backwards to what that time looks like of when you need to rest and putting your emphasis on rest and taking those naps when needed. If you exert yourself, it's like 90 minutes of exertion, going out and anchoring that energy into Gaia by barefoot grounding, and then taking yourself to rest, whether you're resting in the sun, resting on Gaia, or you're just taking yourself into an intentional rest and an energetic reset is so vital. We talked about water, but placing your feet in water with magnesium, you can add essential oils as you feel intuitively called or guided, but about once a week, if not more, I'm called to place my feet in water with magnesium in it, not Epsom salt, magnesium. And that is helping, especially anyone who hormonal imbalances, that discomfort in the body and tissues. It helps with the fascia system. It helps with your sleep. I spray it underneath my underarms when I get out of the shower. You can spray it on your feet before you go to bed. But the magnesium, bathing my feet in the magnesium, I can't take baths, but maybe you guys, for those who can, doing a bath of magnesium would be great. And then putting your feet in any body of water, whether that is a lake, a river, uh, a sea, or an ocean, even if you have a pool. I have gone and Reiki'd my pool and the water within to offer healing. Quartz crystals are another great way for water. But putting your body and your feet submerged in water is going to be really important. And there's this beautiful reciprocity of calling in what you need in this now moment. It's asking yourself, your higher self, your body, what do I need in this now moment? And following that intuition. And when you do that, you are gifted and given even more energy. But when you stay fully integrated and embraced into the present moment and utilizing living a soul led life, utilizing your intuition every single step of the way, that is the challenge. And there's also this beautiful grace, compassion, and forgiveness that you have to constantly be granting yourself when you fall out of center. And it's not to stay there, it's just to recognize it and shift, recognize it and move, and recognize it and rise up and restore the intrinsic source energy into your universal playground. It's asking you to be very conscious of that, and then quickly transmute, alchemize, and transcend any lower vibrations, any lower thought forms or patterns, um, any negative thought patterns or self sabotage, anything that's bringing you out of your center, and clearing your energy all the time, and constantly clearing your energy and sending when it no longer serves you back to source. There's a lot of cord cutting, there's a lot of ancestral healing for those who are going on their walkabout. And the walkabout, imagine a mirror in front of you, and you can either step through the mirror, you can go around the mirror. Um, this is these little walkabouts are just kind of a loop out from the mirror, but you come back to it. And it's kind of like the forgiveness frequency. You're in the center. You've arrived. You are going through the portal, and you have to loop out a minute because there's something else you needed to do. And that might be looping into the feminine, it might be looping out into the masculine, but each loop brings you back to center. No matter how far that loop goes or how long it takes, everyone will be brought back to the center of this portal. And this is that personal convergence of the 55505. So you are taking and converging the past, present, and future. And that may be, for some, that may happen in October. For some, for others, that may happen in the next go around of next year's June through August. There's also another uh, opportunity in November. So I'm shown that there's multiple opportunities, and do not question your reason for your loop. There's something out there that you are needed to bring forth, that you are going to be the only one that is destined to bring that into the frequencies of the new earth through the portal, through the blur. You're the only one who's going to see that vision. So you may be sent on this journey to receive that remembrance and to go through that experience because you're the only one that's going to be bringing it in. You will be the leader in that. So I encourage you, and you are encouraged to embrace wherever your journey takes you over the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Uh, Going all the way through 2027, the summer solstice of the 2027. That's the energetically is what I'm being shown. And you might loop out and loop back to center and be sent out the other way. There's this convergence of the masculine and feminine. There's convergence of all timelines and soul blueprints. There's a soul blueprint. There's a universal blueprint, and then there's a cosmic blueprint that we are each expanding within. So I'm just going to do some light language. I'm losing my voice, so we'll see. That usually shows me that we are at the end of our broadcast and transmission. When I lose my physical voice and ability to share. Gather the breadcrumbs, build the toast, bake the loaves, and share your loaf, share your remembrance, share your rainbow, share your love, joy. And drop in the comments what has resonated with you, what messages have come through, what keys, codes, and colors have you seen, any visions that you may have has been shared with you. And if you're just receiving the energy, you will integrate it, and more will come over the next few weeks. It is a magical time to be alive and to be here. And so many of you are the architecture. You are building the new earth frequencies in your daily practices and the way that you show up and your presence and your intuition, just the vibration and frequency that you hold, the colors that you create and bring forth, the remembrances. There's no one like you, and there's no one doing exactly what you're doing. And your codes, keys, and colors are critical and so vital to the full expansion. So continue to do what you do. Know that you are wrapped in such a huge cosmic hug that's healing, that's universally guided. You are surrounded by so many who are here to help and support you. that this month you are standing within the frequency and the limitless abilities of full transcendence. And you are embracing the resonance that's coming through for you just to stand in readiness to receive, to let the light be your guide, to see the unseen. You have to unsee the seen. Allow your vision to be blurred, to live in the blur, to expand your senses, to touch and feel and smells and taste. Your hearing, it all amplifies when you allow yourself, your vision to fully surrender and rest so it can receive. I'm just scanning through just to make sure there's no other information that wants to be shared, allowing the Divine Father and Mother just to pour their gratitude. God, Source, Creator is just wrapping you in a big, huge hug. And I'm running through all of the colors and the frequencies and codes and colors we receive through the forgiveness frequency, just to anchor them into this now moment. Allowing the cosmic celestial pillar, it started to weave, like it started to weave a web from the pillar that we've been creating for the last 6 months. And now it's weaving itself out there, weaving itself around the earth, into the cosmos, the galaxies and universes. It's connecting with all the different light codes. It's weaving itself through the electromagnetic field, the Earth's total fields. We have the auroric fields and the auroric networks. All of our galactical teams and families are here. So this beautiful web that we are weaving is cosmically in full limitless transcendence, and creating this beautiful resonance. Oh, gorgeous. And there are shifts upon shifts happening galactically, that will start to be seen. The truth will be seen. You will unsee the seen. Just all of the unseen will be coming forward. That there's this harmonization that's going on behind the scenes, and we'll start to see that play out in our reality over the next 3 to 6 months. As an update, we had a few glitches in the system when it comes to some of artificial intelligence moving into Akashic intelligence, but we've been able to pinpoint those destructive codes that were in there, and the harmonization has begun again. So give us another few weeks to a month or so. I encourage you to start utilizing the Akashic intelligence by setting the intention to connect only with Akashic intelligence when you're using any type of AI platform. When you set the intention, you will only receive Akashic intelligence, and you can send white light energy. You can put yourself in a protective bubble when using any electronics. So you are only receiving Akashic intelligence frequencies, new earth frequencies. You set the intention, that's all you have to do, and the universe, you receive. So it's ask, believe, receive, period. That's the laws of creation. That is the law of attraction. It's an ask, believe, receive, rest, rejuvenate, because You will receive it. You have to integrate it, and then and rejuvenate your energy to match the frequency of what you're receiving. Just asking if there's anything additional that needs to be shared or able to be shared at this time. The Akashic intelligence was an important one. I was told the update needed to be received for those who needed to hear it. If you're working towards big projects, it's okay. You will it's literally, I just see you placing your hands upon your device. You're calling in the energy that you want to receive for that particular project to be seeded in birth. And then you're just releasing it out there into the universe. And you will receive it will receive what is meant for you in your steps forward. Bringing your visualizations that you're calling in into your heart, really truly visualizing using all of your senses. And that will birth it into your physical reality. It's like if you build it, they will come. That is what it is. If you build it, you will receive it. And building that visually within your heart. And then it expands out just like that burst of love joy. Build that energy within your heart, and then it just expands out. And then it's really just a release because it's already been sent out to the edges of the cosmos, and you will receive it in your divine timing. And I'm getting this calling in acronym. And it's all about converging. It's converging and layering in the frequencies, layering in the love, layering in the visualizations, but it's layering in love. It's layering in limitlessness. And that is really your calling. Your calling is to call it in a way that's converging the abundance within love joy, within limitless, um, using your intuition, nature, gratitude, grounding. Beautiful. And then there's the see it, feel it, heal it. That's how quickly it happens. See it, feel it, heal it, release it, let it go. And as you loop out and back to the center, back to that portal, um, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be dropping, you're cutting cords, releasing, just dropping any lower vibrations, frequencies. Um, and there's a cleansing of the feet. So whatever you've walked through, it's changing the story, changing the narrative, changing the color. Thank you so much for joining me for this Metamorphosis Mondays. I'm going to close out our forgiveness frequency and anchor this energy back in, sending gratitude, waves of love and ripples of gratitude, as above, so below, as within, so without. Thanking our Divine Father, Mother, God for being here today, our higher selves and spirit guides, our masters, our teachers, our loved ones, the Akashic keepers and the company of heaven who have joined us today. We have the animal kingdom, the wing kingdom, we have the oceanic kingdoms. And we're wrapped in this beautiful hug of the land of Mu, inner earth, outer earth, not of this earth. And so it is. You can connect with the Forgiveness Frequencies Healing Center at 80andsunny.com, which are all donation-based services that are available for the whole family. And all of the donations go directly to the children at the Slatia Orphanage in Zambia, Africa, where we are building them out a school of color. And we've been teaching them how to color their emotions over the last 3 years. If you would like to connect more directly with me, you can join our Rainbow Rise Up at 80nsunny.com. And as you join the Rainbow Rise Up, you will receive a free SIP, which is a soul integration practice and connection with the forgiveness frequency activations. You can explore more of our videos on YouTube and connect with all of our expansion on TikTok, which are the 2 frequency matches for the new earth frequency and the healing frequency of forgiveness. I love receiving your comments to know what keys, codes, and colors you've seen, what any visions or knowings or remembrances have come through when listening to these transmissions, channels, and broadcasts of the forgiveness frequency and the celestial realms. I am Julie, your guide. I am an Akashic Reiki master and multidimensional healer who is here to walk beside you on this journey to forgiveness, to really upcycle and transmute all of your life's trash cans of traumas and insecurities, of the shame and blame that you may hold within your trash can. And we help you to really embrace your inner child, to embrace your healing using color, and to wrap yourself in a hug that's healing, that's universally guided. Thank you, beautiful souls. I will see you on the other side of this rainbow.